Alright, we're back. Sorry about that, everybody. Technical difficulty. My computer crashed while I was in the middle of giving the starting grid. Gotta get camera 1 back up here. Alright, sorry once again, we are back. Alright, I was getting through that grid there. Got the great qualifying effort of Brad Otto in that Marines car. Evan Castle in the 55. Cody Luke, newcomer in the 86, fresh off his Truck Series win last night. Pretty good debut for him. Number 8, or 8th spot rather, number 60 Perry Bond. 00 Francis Dittman. Ryan Johnson 10th. Dave Simons, or Simmons, I'm not sure. I'm gonna need a pronunciation key on that one. But another newcomer or returning driver. There in the 02. Ed Finley starting 13th. Dino Francesconi in 15th, and Ken Hansen bringing up the rear there in 16th place. So we should have 15 cars out there tonight.
Drivers, to your cars.
Bear with me some more, folks, as I get some more things fixed here after that little crash. All my setup went out the window.
Drivers, start your engines!
Alright, and the pace car leads them off with your leader, admin, points leader, the Slim Jim, taking them through the turn there. Last turn around before the green flag. Road courses are run a little bit differently here at FSB. No cautions tonight, so Lucky Dog will not be an issue. 2 incident rule does still apply, so these drivers do have to mind their P's and Q's as far as getting into other cars and causing them problems. I know Slim has called for the cars to sort themselves out before the first corner, so they can get through that S turn nice and clean, and then have at it, get to racing. And it looks like we are clean through the S's. I have never raced or covered a race here, so I don't know what I'm dealing with in the camera angles tonight. Gotta play around with that a lot, and that's a good shot. I know track builder John Norton is also rebuilding this track from scratch right now. It started out as a retexturing and turned into a labor of love. He's doing some beautiful work, and I'm hoping to influence the league to run that next time we come here. But for now we're using the PWF. I believe this is converted from NASCAR Legends. Someone will have to correct me if I'm wrong on that later. But I think this came from the NASCAR Legends game. And to no one's surprise, Slim will lead lap 1. Looks like Evan Castle's making a move on the 31 of Brad Otto. And he's clean and away. Sure do wish my buddy Milt Minter Jr. could be here tonight. Give us some history and insight into this track. I'm sure he's got some great stories about coming here as a kid, about watching his dad run here. A very historic track that was, you know, just lost to 80s overdevelopment, unfortunately. No, it was the only road course that Richard Petty ever won on. And unfortunately I never actually got to see Tim Richmond run here either, but I've seen the video and it's a sight to see, so it'll be real cool to see this track given proper treatment and relive some of those glory days, as this was the last year, 1988. This track is set in 70, but this mod is 88. It's the last year that Winston Cup ran here, and then it was sold to developers and turned into what, according to Brian Lamb, is a mall that was never finished. Woo! Dirt tracking it there for Brad Otto in 31. Nice save. Oh, spoke too soon. Brad's in the kitty litter, and oh! Heads up move by the O2 to not collect Brad there. Alright, I need to get my YouTube back up in another window here so I can check in on the stream, check in on the chat. So bear with me if you've said hi and I haven't responded yet. Meanwhile, Mark DeSenza has gotten around Pops Margison for second place.
Connected. Channel switched.
Alright, got all my bells and whistles back up. Well, we got another battle here. The O2 of Dave Simmons. I'm just gonna say Simmons for tonight. Gets around Perry Bond, pick up the 6th spot. Check out that dodge. Alright, gotta be the only dodge in the field tonight. Looks like that goes on the Monte Carlo body, but I'm not sure what, I guess it's the Dodge Magnum. And he's looking to get to work on Evan Castle here soon too, through the S's. And there we go. completed yet another pass. That should move him up into the top 5. Looks like that's got the make on the back there. Let's see. It's a Dodge Murata. I wasn't really familiar with that model. So that 02 car is one to watch tonight. He may be too far out of touch with the leaders to try and reel them back in with no cautions. But I bet he could make up some ground, maybe make a charge for 3rd place there, get himself a podium in his first night back, which would be pretty awesome to have a couple first night podium finishers in a row. Ooh! Getting aggressive through the S's there, he almost rolled that sucker. We've mentioned this many times, but these are trucks underneath the paint jobs, and they got a higher center of gravity than the Cup or GNS cars. And if you pop the curb, it's possible. I've done it at the original Watkins Glen. It's possible to flip one of these things over and getting too aggressive through the curbs. Meanwhile, you see in the right window there, Slim Jim Gately just continues to hold serve, but his teammate and main rival, Mark DeSenza, Mr. I Stink at Road Courses, is hanging right there with him. Yeah, Mark claims to stink at road courses, but I can't catch him. Of course I stink at road courses. Oh! Slim in the kitty litter still holds on to it. Now Pops just took a complete shortcut through the dirt, held on to it. I think it's going to be a recurring theme tonight. So-and-so's in the dirt and they held on to it. That 02 is just so smooth going around here tonight. Really impressed. I hadn't run with Dave Simmons before, but man, I've already got his car, so that's pretty cool. And that wasn't in the car file manager tonight, so that must have been something that was in the archives that I downloaded when I first joined FSB, and he's still using it, so pretty cool. That worked out. Yeah, the only thing I had to download tonight was Rad Auto's number 31. Mr. Simmons has reeled in Rick Bisconier in the 43. As I predicted, he is on the move. Let's take a ride on board with him as he makes a lap. You see pass under that start-finish line on the banner. First left, right. There's that huge wreck back in the GTP series of Lynn St. James. I think Willie T. Ribbs was in that. car's caught on fire, flew through the air. Very high-speed turn. Up through the S's, which is what always kills me on this track. And then you just got a kamikaze slow down for this sharp left-hander. After getting all that wiggle out of the car through the S's. Very difficult section, and they're handling it very well tonight. Another little S-curve, and then the big drag strip. As drag racing was part of the facility here at Riverside Raceway. High-speed left-hander, very similar to how you come around to the last corner at Sonoma with a quick right-hander. Yeah, big banking sweep turn, and we're back. Oh, and while I was marveling at Mr. Simmons' lap here, it looks like Mark DeSenza has gotten around Slim Jim Gately. I'm gonna have to rewind and find how that happened. I'll leave you watching Dave Simmons try to work on Rick Bisconer as they come back down the drag strip once again. A little more agricultural racing there. Oh my goodness, I found what happened to Slim. See, here he comes around into the S's to start a lap, and he just got way off into the dirt. And Mark DeSenza just goes right on around. And Slim Jim is back in the lead again. So while I was finding how he lost the lead in the first place, he got the lead back.
User was moved to your channel.
We've got Will Farmer in the booth with me now.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good to have someone here so I'm not just talking to myself like a crazy person.
Yeah, I was watching the stream and I see that Milt's not here tonight, so I figured I'd come in with you.
Yeah, thanks for coming in. He wanted so badly to make it tonight, but work got in the way. Sometimes just life gets in the way, no matter how much we want to play.
Yep. I know he loves his road courses, Milt, so...
He loves his road courses. He's a California guy through and through, and I'm sure you've heard now that his father was a great independent road racer. You know, not really independent, but drove for a lot of the smaller teams, and beat the factory teams in some lesser equipment. And this was definitely his stomping ground. And I was sure Milty would have all kinds of stories about this track, about his dad, and just road racing in general.
Yeah.
So hopefully you're watching us, Milty. We love you, and we'll catch you next week, man.
Yep, these road courses are pretty tough out here.
Now, you got some experience driving this track on Tuesday night, didn't you?
No, I wasn't there Tuesday night.
Oh, you didn't make it? Okay.
No, I did not.
Oh, got the 02. 02 making the look under Rick Bisconer, finally. Oh, I see Cody Luke watching. Did you already fall out? And hello, Glenn Bradley. Sorry. Well, if you left back in 2010, come on back. Door's always open, man. We're still doing our thing over here. I don't know if you saw before, Will, that I got going and all of a sudden my computer crashed. It's the first time that's happened.
I didn't. I was out earlier tonight, and then I just came back, and I realized I was just too late to make the cut. So I was sitting around for a little bit, and I was like, "Oh, they're doing a live stream tonight. Let me join that." So, and here I am. I was watching for a little bit. Saw Milt wasn't here, and I figured I'd give you some help.
Yeah, that's appreciated as we see the leaders working their way through lap traffic. Here at lap 14, not quite halfway yet, and they're catching lap cars. I don't know if those cars already pitted or had other problems. It's tough to watch the whole field. In fact, I should probably start moving through. I've been concentrating on 3 cars all night. Dave Simmons still has ways to go to catch Pops here. Pops running all by himself there in P3. There's that fresh out of the paint shop Marine car from Brad Otto. I saw him coming out of the pits already too, so don't know if he's on a different strategy or just cooked the tires. I see that, Cody. Cody says, just couldn't keep it under control and didn't want to wreck anybody tonight, and that is totally understandable and respectable. If it's a track you're just not familiar with, not comfortable with, and you're not in the points, I've done the same myself. You'll get him again, and oh!
Yeah, Cody,
right.
Cody, I was the same way. What was that? A couple weeks ago on the live stream as well. What track was that?
Nashville.
Nashville, yeah, that was tough for me.
Nashville
And
Fairgrounds, not the Nashville Super Speedway we got now, but the Fairgrounds. That track is brutal. I'm thinking Ryan Johnson is missing a gear. I think he's missing a gear because he is slow around the track, like he's missing shifts. Let's get on board with him there and see what we can hear. That's not the button shot. Oh, we have a wreck.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Bisconer off track. How serendipitous that I forgot the controls for a second and advanced through cars instead of cameras.
Yeah, we sure did have a fun race last night, huh?
That was interesting.
Yeah, for sure. But it was a good race, and man, I wish I could have made it here tonight, but.
Yeah, all right, Cody. That was a good strategy call. I've pulled that one myself. I think, you know what? I think I could have probably had something for you if instead of pitting with the guys who didn't go around, I should have let them go into the pits and then driven around the pace car myself. I think I still could have gone and come around, catch the tail of the field. But yeah, those who are wondering, we had a weird situation with caution flag coming out during pit stops, and that just always creates chaos. In the truck race last night, and some cars got themselves trapped tail end of the lead lap that I think should have been able to pass the pace car, but because of the very poor spotter instructions we get, that was not the case. Alright, so I've dialed up what happened to Rick Bisconer, going through the S's here. You'll see he just kinda gets in there kinda hot, goes wide, nails that wall, then out to the guardrail. Another thing different about road courses, it's probably playing in his favor, is we run moderate damage on road courses, as we see our leaders in the pits right now. Nah, well, you gotta either do the stream, watch the stream, or be in the server. If you didn't make qualifying, you can't get in.
Alright. I was just wondering. Alright, well, I'll still stick around with you here, try to help you out as best I can.
Sure. In the future, you could always just have your dad log you in and then back out, so you've got a spot reserved, so you can just pop in and watch.
There you go.
As long as you were there, as long as you were in the server before qualifying, a spot gets reserved for you to come back at any time. Or if you got the special Mojo password like I do, but, you know, you can't have that.
Oh, man.
Nope, sorry, kid. Top secret information. Now, I believe I promised we're going to ride on board with Ryan Johnson and see if we can diagnose the problem. Or if he just
with
got out
that
of rhythm.
second gear. Or one of his gears, anyway.
Alright, we're on board here.
I'll tell you, man, these road courses, you really don't want to miss a gear, but it's almost as if it makes it easier when you're switching all these times to miss one.
Oh yeah, easy to miss one, easy to accidentally downshift into neutral. That can be disastrous.
Yes, it can. Anything could happen in a road course race.
Or you double hit the gas as you're coming up a gear. That's almost guaranteed to strip it. As we got Pops and the O2, Dave Simmons pulling into the pits. Yeah, I don't know. I can't really tell anything obvious. When you're riding on board someone else's car in the server, you can't really tell what gear they're in. The game's just guessing. On your end, you have to be on their replay to see it for sure. But the RPMs seem about right.
Who knows, maybe he's just having a little trouble here tonight.
Let's see, his fastest lap was a 1:23.973. And he's running 25s right now. And he's definitely off of his own pace. And I have to wonder, he might just be down a gear, like I was saying.
Even if it's first gear, it really will take a toll on you in the long run, you know? You lose a second every lap, or a second or two every lap, and you'll start to fall back.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's huge.
And with these races, as you know, I mean, you mess up one thing, not necessarily saying it's his fault, but even in general, you know, you hit the wall a little bit, you get some damage, you miss it, you get a gear shot, and then you're basically out of the race. And I mean, it's hard, especially when these races go on for, you know, 30, 45 minutes. You have to do everything perfect if you want a chance to win. So.
And Friday night is the big show here, and
it is.
You're going up against guys like DeSenza and Gately.
And those
Pops
guys
here.
are good.
Yeah, they don't make mistakes. Not like that usually. I mean, Mark DeSenza is known for killing himself in the pits, and I rag him about it constantly, and he knows it. But he's been really good this season about that.
And I'll tell you, I've been trying really hard to try to get better positions than those guys, and I'll tell you, it's difficult. I mean, I came in 4th at last night's race, and that's the best I've done here this season. But, I mean, those guys are good.
They're good. They've been doing it a long, long time.
Yes, they have.
Oh, we got Ken Hansen in the grass here. Looks like he gathered it up and got going again. He is not having a Bill Elliott-style night here at Riverside. Stuck there in 11th, 1 lap down. Quite a few off-course excursions there. But he's still got 4 tires on the gray, and he's gonna keep on Keep on digging. Meanwhile, I was about to say, through the pit stop sequence, Dave Simmons has moved himself up into second. And Pops has Mark Desenza in his clutches.
I'll tell you too, these guys, they make it look so easy watching the stream, and they just glide through those turns, but it's really not, you know.
These S's are brutal, absolutely brutal. You get your butt wagging through there, and you're not gonna catch it before you get to that hard. That's the thing. You come out of the S's, and then it's a hard braking, slow right-hand turn, and if you
you can't lock your brakes and
exactly. If you've gotten behind on your steering and behind on your braking through the first part of those S's and you get to that last right, you are toast. You're gonna slap that wall hard. In fact, I believe that is where oh shoot, Joe Weatherly, NASCAR driver of the 60s, I believe that's where he was killed. Before the window nets, before the window nets were mandatory. He just swung out there and he slapped left side of the car on that wall. Wasn't going all that fast, because you're not going terribly fast there, but his head came out and impacted the wall. So between that and Richard Petty's horrible Darlington crash, where he was sitting there...
His arm came out.
Yeah, his arm came out. Yeah, they designed and implemented the window net, and... God, how many drivers must that have saved, over the last 40 years?
It is crazy how much they've improved the safety in these cars. You see some of those crashes, and I mean, even Austin Dillon's crash at Daytona, what was that, 2 or 3 years back?
Oh yeah.
Where he slammed into that catch fence at 190 miles per hour? They said
about 190 miles per hour, and at about 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
Like, why did they run that race? They should have just run it the next day. You gotta figure that those drivers being up, racing at 3 in the morning after they've been waiting around all day at a race, you gotta wonder if they were getting kind of tired.
Yeah, I mean, with the sim racing, you're not in the intense conditions those drivers are in real life. I mean, you see, I know they've been showing it in the races now. They'll show you how hot it is in the car. They have a little thermostat in there.
Oh yeah.
And it'll get over 100 degrees easily in there, which, I don't know, I figured that it would probably be a little colder since you were getting some type of breeze, but you're really not when you're in that car, and it is hot.
Yeah, it's extremely hot. And then imagine the track that kind of replaced, at least location-wise, this one, being not too far away. It's the California Speedway, over in Fontana, California. Well, Jeremy Mayfield, before he was on meth, or maybe, who knows, maybe he was on meth at the time, he had his oil cooler break. And do you know where the oil cooler sits in these race cars?
I believe it's right behind the driver, isn't it?
Right behind the driver. And that's not just, a couple quarts of oil in there. That thing's got gallons of oil, like 5 to 10 gallons of oil pumping through it, and it was not getting cooled at all. They were throwing bags, this is in the summer, of course, and they were throwing bags of ice in there, as we see the 02 and the 6 work their way through lap traffic. A little bit of a battle brewing here for second place. Actually, he's taken second place. Simmons has gotten around him.
Oh, wow.
He is on the move. Anyway, they were throwing bags of ice in there to cool him off, and they were instantly melting and boiling. And he got out, and his butt was literally boiled.
Yeah, those cars are crazy.
Yeah, so he won the race. His oil didn't fail. He had to seek medical attention for severe burns after the race. And sure enough, his sponsor was Mobil 1, and they were beaming for months after that one. Like, look, our oil held up to these conditions.
There you go. That's a good way to sell it right there.
Yeah, really. If that doesn't give some confidence in your product, I don't know what does. And hey, my buddy Milt Minter Jr. checking in from the hotel out there in Tweakerville. Speaking of meth, he was telling me he's seen some strange characters out there. Says
boy.
The great Rolf Stamlin, hope I didn't murder that name, was killed at Riverside as well. It is a dangerous track. That's one of the reasons it fell by the wayside, even by 1988 standards. Like, by the time 1988 rolled out, this is the 1970 version of the track, it still didn't look much different. It was pretty antiquated. It was not a particularly safe racetrack.
I see there's a lot of fast straightaways and a lot of quick braking, and you know, as you said, you mess up that one or two turns like that, and you're in the grass, and you can't really stop yourself there. That doesn't look like to me where there's really much sand or anything like that. Doesn't look like there's too many tires by the wall for safety either. Yeah,
not a lot of great runoff areas. And this track isn't totally accurate, so I'm sure some of the topography, well, I know some of the topography is wrong. Like this section here has way more altitude change in it than it should. So those little valleys that would send you flipping are not really there. Meanwhile, Mark DeSenza and the O2 of Dave Simmons here have run our leader, Slim Jim Gately, back down. We might have ourselves a three-way battle out of this.
Well, that'll lead to an interesting. Who knows? Maybe there is only what is there, 9 to go, 8 to go?
Yeah, we're on lap 24 of 33 according to the ticker here.
So those guys are trying to close in now. Now it's starting to become crunch time.
Absolutely. And yeah, got Cody saying this place is set up like a 1960s F1 track, and he's not wrong. It was kind of stuck in time. Yeah, 1953 to 1988, I think they ran here. Or 58 to 88. This track has been gone as long as it was open. It closed 30 years ago, and operated for 30 years.
Huh. Its memory still lives on, though.
It's a legendary track. A lot of great stuff here. I don't know how much you know about Tim Richmond, being a younger fellow yourself.
No, not too much. I'm still young.
Look up Tim Richmond, read about his story, and watch him run Riverside. It is sublime. It is Ayrton Senna in the rain sublime.
Seems like the Sens is really catching up here. Almost on Slim's bumper.
That lap traffic really closed up the gap.
Lap traffic can slow you down if you can't get past it, you know. We try to give each other room here at FSB, but sometimes there's not much room to give, you know.
And sometimes when you're at a road course, you can't even get out of your own way.
Exactly.
And Milt Minter says it was great as a kid to grow up here, and like I said, he got a lot of memories about this place. Watching his dad run here and just watching racing in general.
I'm sure.
Woo! Catching some more dirt there, Slim.
Slim, I'm sure now he's trying to get the fastest laps he can.
Glenn Bradley chimes in, catching Jim is easier than passing him. Glenn, I've battled him for championships. I can attest to this. Slim Jim Gately is one of the best I've ever run against.
He definitely
as is Mark
He's
DeSenza.
a great driver. I don't know if I'll ever fully understand how they do it, to be honest with you.
Gen 6 cars, Cody says he doesn't think they'd do well here. You know what? They'd do just fine. Because, they're race cars. You adjust the car to the track. They wouldn't be any worse here than Sonoma. Probably a little better. Sonoma's not quite as wide in places. I don't know if you caught at the beginning of the broadcast there, Cody. Probably not, because you were still in it at the time I was saying it. John Norton, guy who builds beautiful tracks, built the Nazareth that I have us running in the FSB Truck Series, is working on a revamp of this track to make it much more accurate better layout, better graphics.
Oh, that would be great.
I've seen the pictures. It's gorgeous. I can't wait to present it to Sam and the league to run in future Winston Cup races. But yeah, the Cup cars would run just fine on it. I mean, they did, really. I mean, these Aero 88 cars, they use the truck physics, so they're probably a little less horsepower than the real 88s, but have the same wheelbase and center of gravity. Yeah, Milty says it's all about who's got tires left. I can't agree more. I don't know how hard Dave Simmons pushed to make up that gap, or if it was made up in the pits, but he seems to not quite be sticking with Mark like he was before.
Yeah, tires here and tires everywhere will really be the determining factor when it comes to these final laps here as we're starting to close in.
Yeah, especially that big sweeping corner there, that's all grip. And in fact, Mark has the run, but not quite. Like, that last corner is not a technical corner, it's a hang on and shut up corner.
Yep.
That's where the tires are really going to come into play, and that piece right there, where you got to take a lot of speed off into the corner. Through the S's and stuff, the grip doesn't affect it quite as much.
No, but you still have to be able to go fast, man. You have to be able to hit that gas, and you want to get through those S's as fast as you can while still under control.
Absolutely, and that's what kills me at this track. I just get a little behind, and it just piles up on me.
You see those guys starting to skid the tires there.
Oop. Oh, looks like Ken Hansen just... I don't know if he got off by accident or if he's just getting out of the way, but there he is in the grass and around. Okay, Ken Hansen, not having a career night. Can't blame you, Ken. I don't think I'd be doing much better than you out on this track.
Neither would I. Where are we racing next week in the broadcast for the Winston Cup?
Let me pop on over to the website then, get my camera 2 up. Someplace oval, I know that. Slim's not that cruel to put 2 road courses on a 12-week schedule. We got Atlanta 97, that is... Oh, you're gonna love that place if you haven't run it yet.
I know I've definitely ran the regular Atlanta, and I love that track, so...
Well, this is nothing like it.
Oh.
This is absolutely nothing like the Atlanta you know. I mean, this it was reconfigured before you were born. It was reconfigured in 98. So this is why 97 is the final form of it. It was an oval. It was a true oval before.
Oh, wow.
Yep, didn't have the dog leg in it. And it's very fast with these truck physics Aero 88 cars, and I'm afraid Mr. Dave Simmons there has definitely killed his tires. He's just not keeping up. So he's basically gotta stay within striking distance and hope that maybe Slim and Mark tangle here, going for the W. Either way, he's fought himself up to a podium finish like I thought he might earlier on when I saw how much he was on the move. So that's a heck of a return. You can just hold on to that. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, Milty. Milty says he's thinking Slim had a little money in the bank, maybe, as in when Slim pulled out to that big lead after the pit stops, he just dialed it back and let them run him down, use their stuff up.
Uh-huh.
And, I've done that myself before, at other types of tracks.
And I'll tell you, that's what a smart driver would do, Try to get those other guys to wear their tires down. That way, at the end of the race, it's all about strategy.
I've done that before on a track that I know where tire wear comes into play. Well, it was at Rockingham, racing against Mark DeSenza. I knew we were about equal. He was just a touch faster than me, but I'd gotten around him. And then through pit cycles, I came out way ahead. a huge lead, and I just dialed it back because I knew he'd be coming, and if we went green all the way, he'd eventually get closer to me. And I backed it off, and I let him use some stuff up, and eventually the gap stopped closing and started growing back up again.
It's what you got to do sometimes, you know?
Yep, if I had just gone my normal speed, he eventually would have caught me, and then we would have had a battle in the last 10 laps on old tires.
Speaking of battles here, Mark DeSenza looks like he is really...
He is just looking for a door to knock on there.
As he gets caught in some more lap traffic. Yeah, for sure. And I mean, again, there is only 2 to go now. So the race is starting to close here. And you know Mark wants that win.
You know he wants it bad. He wants all of them.
Well, he's sure doing a good job at getting most of them.
You know, my former teammate, he's making them the move on 9 there, but gap pulls back out.
I'll tell you, when you start to get to this point of the race, man, you start sweating a little bit. Yeah, that feeling of victory starts coming to you, you know.
I was starting to say my former teammate Chad Stallman. He I remember after one race it just didn't go my way. But I was still having a good season. He's like, "Well, come on, man, you've won so many races." I said, "Yeah, but I want to win every one that I have a chance at." And when you got the chance, you want it, because you never know when the next one's going to come. Even if you've won the last 6, you never know if you're gonna get a chance again. So you don't want to let any of them slip away.
Yep, these guys are racing hard now with 1 to go. It's coming down the line here.
I bet the draft must come into effect in this big long straightaway too, and they're going to be coming in pretty hot to this corner on the old tires. Oh. That was a very sudden move by Rick Bisconer around the lap car of Brad Otto. Bisconer is trying to finish on the lead lap here. I don't think he's gonna get his wish. Now he wisely pulls over.
Yeah, these guys want to run here. DeSenza might have a shot.
He might, but his opportunities are running out.
Here we go. Now we're definitely on. I thought we were on the last lap before, but we were definitely on the last lap this time. I saw that white flag waving.
Yeah, white flag in the air.
And these guys are racing hard, trying to get that win.
Absolutely. Dave Simmons is like, "Come on, guys! Oh, we got to move to the outside at the end of the S's."
Oh, here we go.
Here comes Mark De Rocket DeSenza. He's got to make it around the outside of this corner. Don't know what number it is.
Oh,
door handle, the door handle to the drag strip. I think he might have him. He's got the line.
Well, this is great racing, isn't it, huh? Who's going to get the finish here?
Mark's got the line into the left-hander, but if you can't clear Slim, then Slim's going to have the line through turn 9. And they are just all out of grip going through there. And Slim gets back around him. He pulls the Earnhardt crossover, and oh! Mark gave it everything he had.
And Slim took it, huh?
What a finish.
Wow, there you go. That's the racing we want to see here at FSB, huh?
That is teammates, rivals, friends, and there you have it. Slim sits there on the mountain, the king of the mountain tonight. Once again, Slim Jim Gately.
There he goes.
Man, you know, I just never know what to expect every time we do this. Every time I think we're in for a dull race, I get proven wrong.
It gets pretty exciting here at the ends of these races. I tell you, you want that win and you want it bad, and you could tell Mark really wanted it here tonight, but it looks like Slim just got him a tiny bit, and that was just enough to get the victory. I really thought Mark had him through that straightaway there, but yeah,
it really looked like he had him. Man, I think I think he just got too aggressive into turn 9. I think he could have just brought it back down and probably held on to it. But like I said, he wanted to be clear before he got into turn 9 so that Slim couldn't get back under. And whew,
What a great
just
finish
got
to the
around him.
race.
Great finish. I was not expecting such close racing from what I'd seen all night. Coming into a road course, I mean, we're not road course racers by and large here. But, they put on a show. Hey, thanks for tuning in, Glenn. There, much appreciated. And again, I saw you're a past member. Door's always open, man. Go ahead and reapply. Sam will get you processed, and we'll get you out on the track.
I'll tell you, it is a fun time here at FSB Racing.
Absolutely, I'm so glad I found this group when I was looking to come back a few years ago after several years off, and it has been a blast.
Thank you, Milt. Wish you could have been here tonight.
Yeah, man, we'll get back at it next week. So we can hear him say, "Snap into a Slim Jim!" Alright, let me see if I can go round up this gang.
If you want me to go get him, I can.
Alright, yeah, go ahead. Tell them to move themselves on up here.
Who we got? Slim, Mark, and...
Slim, Mark, and Dave Simons. It looks like he already disconnected.
Yeah, seems like it.
Oh well.
Alright,
Well,
I'll go get him. Slim and
alrighty.
Mark, at least.
Thank you.
User left your channel.
So once again, your winner, Slim Jim Gately, by 0.8 seconds over Mark DeSenza. Dave
User
Simons
joined your
brings it
channel.
home third in the O2 to round out the podium. Pops Margison, a solid 4th place
User
run.
joined your channel.
Rick
User
Bisconer
was moved to your channel.
just couldn't quite hold on to that lead lap. First car lap down there in 5th. Rounding out the field, we got Evan Castle, Ed Finley, Dino Francesconi in 8th, matching his number once again. Francis Dittman in the 00 in 9th. Brad Otto runs out the top 10 in the 31 car. Ryan Johnson, I don't know what happened to his car. I think he might have lost a gear and struggled all night. He was down there 2 laps down in 11th. Ken Hansen, multiple times off the track, 3 laps down in 12th. And the retirees of Perry Bond and Cody Luke, rounding out our 14 finishers. And my pinch hit associate Will Farmer has gone and grabbed our top 2 finishers tonight.
See you, Ron. Sorry about that.
That's all right, yeah. You hit the wrong key there, bud. Alright, Mark. Man, it looked like you had him. What happened? What was that last lap there like, man?
Fun. Wild, intense.
Yeah, it looked like it
I
was
didn't want to
fun.
do nothing crazy, but I was
It
kind of
looked
hoping
fun, man.
I was kind of hoping I was on the inside going in that last corner instead of the outside. I went a little too hard. He was definitely better than me, but he made a little bit of a mistake there and kind of got alongside him. And for a while it was sticking, and then it just kept pushing. And but yeah, it was pretty hairy, but it was fun.
Nice.
Last thing I wanted to do was wreck him, so I had to give him plenty of room.
Yeah, going into that last corner, could you just not get it down because of the old tires, or you just didn't think you were clear yet?
Well, earlier after I came out of the pit, plus I had some damage, and I scraped up my left front a little, so it just that last corner. I mean, if I went any slower than I did, then he would have went by me anyway. So I figured I'd try to go a little harder and maybe it'd stick, but it didn't. But really, he messed up for me to get there to begin with. So just happy to get a good finish, and he was fast all night, man. Good job, Slim.
Awesome job, Mark. And don't know where our 3rd place finisher Dave Simmons went to. We didn't quite get him up here.
He's without Mike.
He's without Mike. Oh, okay. Okay, well, we'll get that squared away. So Slim, man, I thought we were gonna make it just stink up the show and lead every lap, but made it interesting there at the end. Tell us about your run tonight.
Well, I don't run road courses a lot, so I'm a little rusty. I used to be pretty good years ago, but I told Mark when we started out, I said, man, if I make 33 laps without a mistake, it'll be a miracle, because he just knew I was going to spank him, after I took the pole with that lap. And I just told him, no, it's not going to be like that probably. I can't count how many mistakes I made, but at least a handful of them. Like it cost me every time.
Your crew is going to get like a 55-gallon drum worth of gravel out of the bottom of that car, because it looks like you went through the dirt and the S's every single lap.
Yeah, I was trying to just keep my lefts in there, but God, man, you carry so much speed going in there, and if you just go a little too quick going into that turn, man, you just can't keep it off of the grass,
Yeah, it just starts piling up. The understeer, the missed braking opportunities, it just keeps getting worse and worse as those S's. It just tightens up more and more with every turn, and then all of a sudden you got a hard right-hander that you're still on the brakes for while you're already out of control. So that's what kills me about this track, and yeah, so you did a great job keeping it under control through there, at least, obviously. How were the tires looking at the end? Were you was tire wear an issue over the run?
No, it actually wasn't. I was still all in the green on all of them. Thought I ruined my fronts once in that last run, but I was checking them out about 2 or 3 laps ago. And I knew I was close on fuel, and Mark had said something about having a half lap showing on his fuel, to half lap or half can, I should say. And I'm thinking, well, man, he's going to have to go in. And then I kind of slowed down a little bit on that last lap, thinking he was going to go in, and he didn't. I'm like, well, shit, I got to go. So, here we go.
All right. Well, I see Slim has also updated the points already and maintains that 17-point lead over our second place finisher tonight, Mark DeSenza.
It's really 40.
It's really 40?
Yeah, that's what I look at it as.
With Slim, you're not far from wrong there.
No,
but it's still mathematically a battle down the finish, as this was just race 9 of 12. We have Atlanta 97 to go. I was just looking at the schedule before. Atlanta 97. Dover and Lowe's Night. Dover is definitely a racer track thrown in there. Lots of tire management. And
Dover is a fun racetrack for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, if he beats me in the points, you know what? I got beat by the best, and so it doesn't matter where I finish, first, second, third. I don't care. But if I do beat him, then I beat the best. If I don't beat him, then I got beat by the best. So that's how.
That's the way I looked at it too.
Yeah, and I second that as well, because what I'm running against Mark, I think I'm driving against myself. So, guy's so good, and it's just so hard to stay in front of him,
He made one mistake tonight, and I got the lead. Then he was a little faster, so he went back by, and then the last lap there, he made a little mistake, and I didn't quite get by. I was alongside of him, but once I got into the last corner, I just knew it would push anyway. But it was really fun.
It looked like a great time. You guys were racing hard out there.
Yeah.
Always against this guy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention Cody Luke was also one of the finishers. I wondered why we didn't have 15 showing the standings. Sorry, Cody, I lost you in my computer crash there. That's why you didn't show in my final standings.
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to our new guy, Dave Simmons. I think he's been here in the past, but man, coming on a road course, finished third, pretty close to, being able to put in a win. So great run for him tonight.
Yeah, I was wondering what he made up a ton of ground on you guys. I don't know if he did it with the pits.
Well, we had problems, and we got an accident in the pits.
Oh, really?
Oh, I missed that when you were
the
pit.
80 pulled out, and I kind of avoided him. Then I almost went by my pits, and then I think it was a 60 or somebody got into me, which I got into him, and then he hit Slim, and we were both sideways on the pits, and then I backed into my pit. They wouldn't change tires, so I had to back farther up and then pull up, and then they finally changed tires. Then I had rear end damage, and I couldn't fix it. So yeah, we lost a lot of time there.
Oh man, I was tracking down something else there. I think I was trying to figure out what was going on with Ryan while you guys were pitting, and I didn't even notice all that go down. I thought I had you in the picture-in-picture window, so it's probably right there on the broadcast. Dumbass announcer was not saying anything about it.
Yeah, I didn't really see it either. I wasn't able to watch completely live. I was kind of watching from the broadcast.
Yeah, so you got about a 3 to 10 second delay there.
Yeah.
I kind of went by my pit a little right when the 60 was coming out, and kind of messed up a little. We got together, and he got into Slim, and Slim was sideways in pit road. I think I was backing up, going forward, and it was just crazy. I didn't even think I was going to get second. I didn't think I was going to catch the other guy out there, new guy, but
All right,
that
Dave,
damage,
yeah.
but it was good.
He says
Yeah,
it's
Dave-
pronounced
Dave-
Simmons.
Simmons.
Dave Simmons.
And
Right,
then
I
after
wasn't sure if
got
it was
past him,
Simmons or
I had to save a little
Simons.
fuel. So he was staying right there, and a couple laps there, I had to really save fuel because I wouldn't have made it. It was showing a half can.
Nice.
And
Well,
I saved for about 5 or 6 laps till you guys caught me.
well, that was more impressive knowing now that you had some pit drama there too, that you guys put on the show that you did. So, great job, everybody, as always. And I'll catch you guys next week at Atlanta 97.
Thanks for the broadcast, Sean.
Yeah,
You
thanks
did a hell of
for
a
the
job.
broadcast.
Much appreciated.
As like I always say, I push the buttons you guys put on the show, so thank you.
Slim, hell of a job, man. You were
Yep, you
fast
too, Mark.
as hell, man.
Thanks for popping in, being my pinch hit wingman there, Will Farmer.
No problem.
And once again, your winner tonight, Slim Jim Gately, Mark Descenza second, and Dave Simmons in third in his FSB return. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I'm Sean Reap for FSB Racing Live, and I'll catch you next week.